All right, you guys, let's try this again. I think it was my connection on my end, but I am going to have the replay so you can miss anything that was, or you can catch up on anything that was missed. And I'll be posting some snippets as well as collective messages. So I'm going to wait for you guys to hop back in. Sorry about that. Technology. That's why I don't usually do live streams. All right. Let me know that you guys are back. Let me know if I am still frozen. Just going to hang out a little bit and make sure that it's working. Hey, Nelda. Thank you. Let me know if it's working for you guys. I think that was my connection on my end. Yay, good, 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 good. Good. Maybe it's too much energy. Maybe there's too much energy going on here. We're not done yet. We're not done. We're absolutely not done. All right, let me know. Let me know if you guys are still here. And we're going to channel some more. I think what we're going to do is we're going to stick with the Divine Masculine right now. Because I feel like there's more. I would repeat what I channeled, except I don't remember. So we're just going to keep moving forward, and then it is a powerful move. And then we will, it'll be on the replay. Okay. All right, let's continue for the Divine Masculine. What's going on for the Divine Masculine? Tell me more about the Divine Masculine, please, Spirit. Divine Masculine, part of this releasing attachments and ending toxicity is they are ending a major, major cycle. And that's exactly what I was getting earlier. Remember, I keep saying that it feels like beginnings and endings and beginnings. Feels like there is this before and this after, and this full moon is really facilitating that. That's what's happening for the Divine Masculine. Now, this could happen for the Divine Masculine energy within you. Or I should say the masculine energy within you if you're a Divine Feminine. So take it as it resonates. But there are major cycles being released, a lot of karma that is being released in order for prosperity, luck, abundance, this blossoming energy to come through. So they're really ending a version of themselves. They're really ending the pain of the past is what I'm hearing, ending these cycles, ending this toxic energy. They're really releasing a lot right now. And they're releasing a lot right now because they are recognizing their strength. They're recognizing and having belief in themselves. And what I'm actually hearing, it's really beautiful, really moving. What I'm hearing is they're recognizing, it's almost like they're seeing through the eyes of the Divine Feminine now. They're seeing that their Divine Feminine has always loved them, has always believed in them. Whew, this is really hitting me in the heart chakra. Holy cow. They're really recognizing that their Divine Feminine has always seen this higher side of them that they couldn't see for themselves because they were looking at themselves in this distorted energy. They were looking at themselves in this pain, and repeating the cycle of pain, repeating the past. So what's happening is Divine Masculine is really seeing themselves through the eyes of the Divine Feminine, through the eyes of love. A lot of the reason why the Divine Masculine shied away from the feminine is because they didn't feel worthy, especially when the Divine Feminine was looking at them through those eyes of love. They didn't feel worthy of that. They didn't feel worthy of that love. They didn't feel worthy of that mirror, because the Divine Feminine is the Divine Masculine's mirror. And the Divine Feminine has always seen them as their higher self. Always believed in them, always seen their power, always seen their beauty, their intuition, their strength, always saw them as the Divine Masculine. Divine Masculine didn't allow for that. It was almost like they couldn't take the mirror, they couldn't take the love because it was so strong. Well, now they're starting to see themselves as that love. They're starting to see themselves as the Divine Feminine has always seen them. And there's this feeling, getting really hit in the chakras today. There's this feeling of remorse and regret because of how they treated the feminine, saying, I didn't realize that you could see me that way because I didn't see myself that way. I didn't believe that you could see me that way because I didn't see myself that way. But I'm starting to believe it now, just like you always believed in me. It's very emotional, very emotional. Major cycles closing for the divine masculine, a cycle of distortion, a cycle of unworthiness, a cycle of past pain. It's it's very emotional, you guys. I would start crying if this was not my job right now. All right. All right. Divine masculine. What else is going on for the divine masculine? Yep, death. Major transformation taking root right now. You might experience your divine masculine. Look who just came out. Just made himself known. You might experience your masculine in a little bit of hermit mode. You yourself, divine feminine, might be in a little bit of solitude. I feel like you're coming out of solitude, though. I feel like you were just in a little bit of hermit mode. I feel like you were just in a little bit of solitude and you might be coming out of it. Divine masculine feels like he's entering that. Doesn't feel like it's going to be for long. It just feels like it's what I'm seeing is the caterpillar becoming the butterfly. That's this transformation that's happening for the masculine right now to become the emperor. Now, the emperor in the distorted masculine energy can be controlling, can be forceful, can be too much in their logic, too much in their mind, holding themselves back. The divine masculine, clearing those distortions, clearing those toxic energies, becomes authoritative, becomes the leader. And when I say authoritative, I don't mean strict, I don't mean controlling. I mean, I always use this example. It is King Arthur energy because King Arthur was one who led with his head and his heart. He was a leader who was able to um, balance both the head and the heart and not hold themselves back. He didn't hold himself back. That's his emperor energy, where he allows himself to apply logic and rational and reason, but he also allows himself to listen to his intuition and let that guide him. Sometimes the distorted masculine can have this impulse or have this intuition or this intuitive nudge, but then they get too much in their mind and like, oh, wait a minute. It's like fear takes over. They second guess themselves and they pull themselves back and they don't take action. It's almost like they freeze. That's what's being cleared. All of that toxic energy, all of that distorted energy is really being cleared so that they can step into this new role, this new life, this new version of themselves. And it's not so much that it's new, it's who they've always been. They just didn't believe it. It's who they have always been. They just didn't allow themselves to be. Because again, it was pain patterns and traumas and other people's expectations or obligations or unworthiness or wounding that really held them back from the truth of themselves. This ascension journey for both counterparts is the unraveling or the unlearning of all of those patterns, all of that programming, all of who you thought you were or needed to be to become all of who you truly are. Ooh, yep. Eight of Cups, that journey of self-discovery. And what are you doing? You're leaving behind the old, anything outdated, anything that doesn't serve you, and you are walking towards your Nine of Cups, your 10 of Cups. And what I like about the Nine of Cups and 10 of Cups is discovering that happiness and wish fulfillment within yourself so that you can be and have that with a partner in a relationship. This is going to be a process that's going to be continuing to unfold throughout the rest of the year. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have communication, contact, or higher level of joy and harmony and relationship with your partner. It just means that this is going to be a process. So whether you do this in partnership together or you do this individually, it is going to be a process that is going to be bringing through that union. Okay, that balance, that union. All right, we're going to move over to the Divine Feminine really quick, and then we're going to get some oracle cards and dive a little bit deeper and see how are you guys feeling about each other. But let's get some current energies for the Divine Feminine. How's this resonating for you guys? Are you feeling it? As I said in the beginning of the live stream, I did not really know what was going on with the masculine and the feminine, aside from my own personal experiences. So it's always interesting to channel. All right, divine feminine. What's going on for the divine feminine? So far, so nice. Good. Yeah, I'm feeling it too. Sometimes it's really hard. Like I was saying in the beginning, sometimes it's really hard to trust what's being received, especially when the physical world seems so far removed. But I've always learned on this journey how to trust the channeling, how to trust, if I can't trust myself, I trust God. And that's who I channel through. So, it really is a humbling experience for me to when my ego is saying, oh, this isn't happening, or this is happening, or, this is what I'm seeing, or this is what I'm not seeing. It's really a humbling experience for me when channeling comes through because that's what I have to believe in. That's what I choose to believe in. That's where the energy that I choose to create from. So, yeah. All that being said, let's see what's going on for the divine feminine. Divine feminine, please. What's going on for the divine feminine? Oh, Kim, I appreciate that. I can't trust myself. I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, I hope that you do trust yourself, and I hope that you are turning that trust to, God's source as well. Divine feminine. Page of Swords. It's too many. I'm going to talk about this card for a minute. We have the Page of Swords, and I'm really drawn to the symbolism here. You see how this man is kind of standing in the clouds here? And there are all these butterflies around, and he might be a little bit defensive, but he's trying to put down his sword. That's where I feel like the divine feminine is. I feel like she's very connected right now. I feel like her crown is very open. I feel like she is trusting her intuition. Sorry, my nose is starting to get really itchy. It happens sometimes when I'm channeling deep. I feel like they're gaining a lot of clarity through your connection, through not your connection to your counterpart, but your connection to yourself, your connection to God's source. I feel like you're really learning how to trust yourself again. I feel like you're really learning how to receive that clarity for yourself, not by reaching outside of yourself, not by saying, oh, what is my masculine doing right now? Not by looking for evidence in the 3D, but by trusting what's being received. A while ago, I had done a channeling, and what they said was allow yourself to receive the energy, allow yourself to receive the love, period, the end, full stop. You don't have to do anything with it. You don't have to pursue anything. You don't have to take action on it. You just have to allow yourself to receive the energy, allow yourself to receive the love, especially the love that's coming from your divine counterpart. That's what this feels like. It feels like you're receiving clarity. You are receiving a lot of activations, and especially you are receiving a lot of love from your counterpart. You are feeling that love coming in from your counterpart. Um, but it's not because of anything that they're doing, it's because of the energy that you're receiving. And because of that, you're opening your heart even more to um, sharing love with them. It's like there's this flow that's going. It's like this give and receive that's going energetically. It might not be happening in the physical. It could be happening in the physical in small increments, but it really feels like there's this heart opening. It really feels like you're giving love energetically because you're receiving more love energetically. Like where your heart had been guarded, where your heart has been shut down, you're allowing yourself to receive it energetically, and so you're allowing yourself to give. And what they're saying is that's the masculine and the feminine energy. So within you, you feel masculine and feminine energy, right? You are masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy is the container. The feminine energy is all the energy that flows within that container. That's why the masculine energy is the protector. They are the provider. They are the structure. They are the discipline. They are the root. They are the steadfastness. We need our divine masculines. They help us to ground. They help us to feel free. They help us to express ourselves. The best way I know how to articulate this is the feminine energy is the river, and the masculine energy is the banks of the river, the edges of the river, the structure, the container that the water flows through. If you didn't have that structure, what would happen? Well, the water would just go everywhere, it would flood, right? So the masculine energy, when it is stable, when it is secure, when it is feeling steady, when it is divine and conscious, it is very present and it is very protector, provider, steadfast. It contains the feminine energy. Hey, Sheila. It contains the feminine energy so that she can express herself because the feminine energy is very wild. It is chaotic. It's funny. My divine masculine used to say, Susan, it feels like there are 19 different versions of you running around. And that used to trigger the crap out of me because I used to think that he was saying that I'm not being my real self. And I used to say, I don't understand what you mean because I am. I'm always trying to be my authentic version of myself. I'm always trying to be me. Now I understand because I would go feel one thing one minute, another thing the next minute. And now I understand I'm just a woman. I'm just feminine energy, and feminine energy can be very chaotic, can be very shifting, can be very changing because she feels so many different emotions. She feels so much and so deep that it's constantly changing, it's constantly moving. The energy within the feminine is constantly flowing and moving. That's why the masculine is so important, and that's why it's so important for you to embrace your inner masculine as well as trusting and honoring your outer masculine, because that is the structure that contains and helps to discipline and helps to maintain that wild free flow of energy that just kind of goes everywhere. If the masculine energy was not honoring and helping and containing, not capturing, not controlling, but just letting the feminine energy to flow and move. Without that, the feminine would just be scattered. She would be fragmented. She'd be everywhere. But with that balance, that feminine energy can be wild and flowing, but in a very steadfast and sturdy way. It's really beautiful how the masculine and feminine energies work together. It's really, really beautiful. So, with this energy, I feel like feminines, you are gaining a lot of clarity. And I also feel like there's a lot of throat chakra activations that are happening for you. For myself, I've been experiencing this. I've been really learning. I can share my whole freaking life with you guys, with thousands of you, on my social media platforms. I can share my life one on one and be really vulnerable with people. But it's really hard for me to be vulnerable with my counterpart. And I realized that a couple of weeks ago, I've been really working on that. And I realized it's because he is the person that is closest to me, of course, being my counterpart. He is the person that I love most dearly in this world. And as such, being vulnerable is a little bit scary because that person I love most dearly in this world, it's like they have that ability to abandon, reject, betray all of those core wounds. Now, that's not to say that they do, that's not to say that they will, but that's the pattern, that's the fear, that's the wounding of the divine feminine. So, allowing yourself to be expressive, allowing yourself to be vulnerable is overcoming those fears. And I feel like that's what this is as well. It's that communication, it's that expression, that self expression, allowing yourself to begin your journey of self expression without holding yourself back, without feeling afraid of how is somebody else going to react. Not just your counterpart. For me, it was my counterpart, but anybody, your family, your friends, coworkers, whoever, allowing yourself to be self expressive, allowing yourself to take up space in this world, allowing yourself to claim space, especially as feminine energy. I want to say especially as women, but especially as feminine energy. Oh, thank you so much. Especially as feminine energy, where we have been taught to suppress ourselves, where we have been taught that we can't have emotions, where we have been taught that we need to be silent, where we have been taught that we can't communicate ourselves. Especially with that energy, it's really hard for us to completely open up. It's really hard for us to allow ourselves to be that vulnerable. And it doesn't mean vulnerable being soft. Vulnerability can be our anger. Vulnerability can be our grief. Vulnerability can be our fears. Vulnerability can be shouting from the rooftops and advocating for our rights. We're starting to see that in the collective, the rise of the divine feminine and the rise of the expression of the divine feminine. And it is amazing, amazing, amazing to see. All right, let me catch up. You've been sensing a lot of things shifting and moving internally, both you and him, but I've been unclear past that. It's fun to see things through a different lens. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Feels like a different level of receiving love from him that I've never received in this way before, which has opened my mind and heart to receiving it in physical reality. Yeah, something shifted. I don't know if it was with the solstice or I don't know when it was. Just recently, fairly recent. When I say recent, I mean past weeks, few months, where it really felt like there was this heart opening, this heart expansion, where the feminine was allowing themselves to receive the love where perhaps they were guarded because of, again, the external stuff and the crap that they had experienced and the mistreatment that they had really experienced in the past. They were allowing themselves to let go of that and just receive energetically. Now, they were still having boundaries. They were still saying, you know what, you're not going to mistreat me. I'm not going to, allow myself to be abandoned. I'm not going to dishonor myself. I'm not going to betray myself. I'm going to have my boundaries. I'm going to say what I need. I'm going to say what I want because I know what I'm deserving of. I deserve to be treated with respect. So she was in that energy, but part of that energy, when she was saying, I deserve more, she put a guard around her heart from that. And what has happened is a lot of that guard came down, still with those healthy boundaries, still with that self respect, but more of an openness. And with that openness, she began to let in her masculine again. Now, that does not mean that she is repeating the cycle because she is in a new energy. And so she's healed her wounded self. And so her wounded self is not going to be attracted to that wounded counterpart. Or I should say, the wounded self is not going to be attracting more of the behavior of the wounded masculine. Rather, what's happening is she's more in her healed energy. She's more in her ascended and expanded energy. And so she's attracting in the that energy from her counterpart, and so she's allowing herself to receive that energy from her counterpart. Does that make sense? It's really hard to explain. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around all the energy that I'm receiving from it and articulate it. I can't quite yet, but I hope it makes sense. Feeling a lot stronger in your own masculine than ever before. That's the key. That is the key. Healing your own masculine. And part of my vulnerability, because I was in an over masculine energy before where I'm like, I have to take care of myself. I can't allow anybody to do for me because nobody's going to be there for me, or because it was this energy of, when my counterpart lived with me for about a year and a half. When he lived with me, I still didn't allow him to take care of anything, especially myself, even though, he tried to cook me dinner sometimes. And because I was always in a place of wanting to be the nurturer. And that was a wound from my childhood where I was taking care of everybody. I was the nurturer. And so being on my own for so long and being independent for so long, it was really hard for me to allow anybody to do physical things for me, even though he tried to, even though he wanted to. So that's where I had to recognize myself. That's where I had to recognize, my own wounding and take responsibility for my own wounding. Part of me being vulnerable is not just self-expression, but allowing somebody to take care of me as well. And that's what life is about. That's what connection is about, not in a codependent way, but in a way of let's take care of each other. Let's support each other. Let's uplift each other. Let's love each other. Let's, it doesn't have to be like always 50-50, but let's make sure that we are having our needs met. Let's make sure that we are being heard. Let's make sure that love is being received in a way that we can each receive it. Let's make sure that we are not emptying our cups for each other, but that we are allowing those cups to be filled up so that we can offer it to each other. It's this energy of really allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to not just give on the divine feminine's end, but to receive, because the feminine energy really is the receiving energy. And the masculine, as the provider, naturally wants to give. And, up until very recently, I didn't allow for that. I needed that. But it was very hard for me to admit that and be vulnerable for that. It was very hard for me to let anybody in to take care of me when what I want most of all is for somebody to take care of me. Not in a place where I can't take care of myself because I already know I can take care of myself, but to have that kind of partnership, to have that kind of support. Um, that still makes me emotional. I'm still working through a lot of that. It's still really hard. There's a lot of pride there for me. It's a lot of pride, but it's very different. When I was very sick, I needed people to help take care of me, but I still insisted on living on my own and taking care of myself. This is a very different energy. This is, wanting somebody to be there for me, wanting somebody to support me, especially emotionally. And that's what partnership truly is all about, supporting each other emotionally. um, oh, that sounds beautiful, Nilda. That's beautiful. You don't want to hear from him in anything less than present energy. Yeah, I get it. I absolutely get it. Yep. And again, have your boundaries, make sure that you are having your needs met as well. Okay, let's see what else is going on for the divine feminine. Eight of Wands and the Star. It's really funny because who said that? Yeah, one of you said you continue to be in separation with zero communication from your DM by pressing forward anyway. The Star and the Eight of Wands, that's this energy exactly. The divine feminine is, she's no longer pouring from an empty cup. You see how we got this message a long time ago in one of the readings. You see, can you see that? You see how she's emptying out the two cups? She's like, you know what? The old energy just wasn't working. The old way of doing things where it was like I was pouring from an empty cup, where we weren't fulfilling each other, where things felt really imbalanced. No, we're emptying that out. That was an old dream. That was an old energy. That was an old wish. Now I know who I am, Divine Feminine is saying. Now I know how powerful I am. And look at that super full moon in the back, too. You see that? Now I know how powerful I am. Now I know my strength. Now I know my worth. Now I know that I am the Empress to match the Emperor. I'm getting real High Priestess vibes from this star card here. Now I know what it takes to not only be in relationship with another, but in relationship and connection to myself. And she's saying, you know what? I'm going to fill those cups back up, but I'm going to fill it up on honor and cherish and respect and love and making sure that I don't abandon myself and I'm not betraying myself. I'm going to fill it up on sovereignty and self empowerment and partnership and balance and respect. Did I say respect? I'm going to fill it up on all these beautiful things, not on the wounded nature of who I was, but on this divine essence, on this conscious essence of who I am now. She's emptying out the old version of herself and thus emptying out the old version of her partnership and what she had dreamed before. And she's recognizing that what she had dreamed before was operating from an old template, an old paradigm, what she thought relationship and connection was in the past. Now she's recognizing through her ascension, through this journey, what partnership, what true partnership, what sacred union partnership truly is. And so she's filling it back up again and she is moving forward. She's moving forward. I want to get a clarifying card for this Eight of Wands here. Oh my God, Two of Cups. Exactly. She is moving forward, filling up on love and equal partnership. Now, we're going to talk about this because it keeps coming through and it's coming through again. There's been the split in the collective. I always start with that, how there seems to be this split in the collective that's happening now. For some of you, this is soulmate connection. It's a high-level soulmate, or if you were dealing with a false twin or just an ascension partner in the past, this is somebody who is coming in who is matching your frequency exactly. This could be, your true divine counterpart. This could be a soulmate, somebody who is really going to feel equal partnership. This is the yin and the yang energy. This is somebody who is going to not only have their own cup filled, but be able to it's like this I water you, you water me kind of energy. And they're bringing me the analogy again of the garden. So if you've missed any of my readings, it's the garden. You have one garden. That's what your sacred partnership is. They're working on their side, you're working on your side, and you take a step back and embrace each other and you look at what you've created, and it's this whole beautiful garden. If you're too focused on their side, you're neglecting your own. If they're too focused on your side, they're neglecting their side. And then you have, maybe one part of the garden that's blooming, but another part that's not. That's not this. That might have been the old template. That might have been the old relationship. That's not this. This is equal. This is both of you working on the relationship for the relationship. It's not against each other. It is with each other. It is for each other. It's for the relationship. Nurturing the relationship as that third entity, because your relationship becomes a third energy. Your relationship becomes a third energy that you have to nurture. You nurture yourself, you nurture each other, and you nurture the relationship as a whole, recognizing the importance of that relationship. Now, for others, so for some, it's going to be a new romantic relationship or a new relationship that is going to further you along your expansion and your ascension journey in a really uplifting, positive energy, because you have done the work. You've done the shadow work, you've done the light work, you've held space, you have given yourself self-love, you've learned to master your emotions, you've learned to master your energy, you've learned to transmute, you have gone through your ascension journey. Now, you're always going through ascension, but you've gone through like the really pivotal point of ascension. For others, this is your person who is going through their own ascension, who's going through their own transformation, who is going to be able to rise up to meet you where you are. Now, you know where you are on your journey. You know who this is. You feel within your heart how it resonates for you. If it triggers you, allow yourself to work through those fears, if there are fears, but you know which part of the collective. This is not going to be a surprise to you. You're going to know which part of the collective that you're in as we're doing this reading. Hey, Paula. Okay, so just allow, and divine feminines, just keep going forward, moving forward on your path, on your journey, and just this beautiful energy, this beautiful partnership is coming in. All right, let me take a drink because I'm very parched. And any future relationship must be built on solid, stable, and highly conscious foundations. Absolutely agreed. 100%. Absolutely agreed. Presence, stability, security. And that doesn't mean, security does not mean codependency. Security means lifting each other up. Security means offering each other that validation when necessary. That security means honoring each other's emotions, honoring each other's expressions, honoring each other, period. It is that secure, healthy connection. Okay, what else is going on for the divine feminine? What else is going on for the divine feminine? The Fool and the Moon. You might not be able to see how it's unfolding, how this new beginning is coming in, but you can feel it. You can feel the new beginning because you can feel the new energy within you. You might even be able to feel the new energy within the masculine. Now, this again is either your masculine transforming and growing and expanding, or this is the universal conscious masculine that is going to be matching you, that is going to be coming in your physical world. Take it as it resonates again. You might not be able to see this. You might not be able, and what they're saying is not everything is being revealed to you for a purpose, because you are meant to trust your intuition. You are meant to trust your knowing, and you are meant to be very present. And I talk about that all the time, the importance of presence. So there is this new beginning here. You are moving into this new phase of your journey, this new phase of your life, this new version of you, but trust the path that you're walking, trust your intuition. I'm also getting the message that you might be receiving more clarity with this full moon, tonight's full moon. And the energy is going to continue over the next few days, even the next few weeks. So even I'm hearing leading up to the Lionsgate, and we're going to do a Lionsgate reading sometime soon. And I am open to select bookings, sacred love readings, sacred soul readings, and Lionsgate energy specials are now available on the website. So I'm open to select bookings, including the Lionsgate special. But we are going to do a reading sometime soon. But there is so much that is aligning, so much that is occurring. You're meant to be very present. You're not meant to understand or know or see anything. So don't try to analyze it. Don't try to understand it. I have to do that because this is my job. I'm trying to articulate energy, but even for me, it's like I'm not able to see until after the fact, after I experience it. Okay, this is why I experienced this. This is what this means. I have to kind of go through it first in order to be able to relay it. But that's where I have to be present too. I'm supposed to be very present. We all are supposed to be very present because energy is shifting so quickly right now. Okay. Whew. Gosh, it's hot. Okay. Let's get Love Story Oracle. Let's see how you guys are feeling about each other. How are you guys feeling about each other and the connection? Okay. How's the divine masculine feeling about the divine feminine right now? I'm getting this image of a divine masculine that is kind of in retreat mode. It's almost like they have a blanket pulled over their head right now. Now, this isn't distorted. This isn't toxic. This isn't like that they're trying to hide from you. What I'm hearing, it's not even that they're trying to hide from themselves. It's almost like I'm hearing the word unbearable. It's almost like there's so much that's happening for them. And it's like overwhelming. So it's almost like, remember when I said that they were in like a little bit of retreat mode? They were like in a little bit of a moving into like a little bit of a hermit energy. It's because there's so much energy that is being processed within their system right now. It's like they're on overload. So that hiding energy is not that they're hiding, it's that they're retreating a little bit, but they're not retreating from you. They're not retreating from the connection. There's just so much that is being processed right now that is being understood from the divine masculine's perspective. I feel like they're going to be able to move through this very quickly. I'm also seeing the tower. So I do feel like they might be having some tower moments. Again, I don't feel like this has anything to do with you, divine feminines. There's a lot of emotion there around you. There's a lot of love around you. And I feel like that might be part of the tower moment. But I don't feel like you're the one triggering it. I feel like there are outside influences, situations, even people that might be triggering them. But it's not triggering them as in a toxic way. They're they're taking a mental soul health day. Yeah, exactly. It's not triggering them in a toxic way. It's not triggering them so that they're regressing into old patterns and beliefs and addictions and stuff like that. It's triggering them to go deeper within themselves, to connect deeper to their emotions, to connect deeper to their heart space. And what I'm also hearing is to connect deeper to you. So they are connecting emotionally to you, energetically to you. They're feeling a lot of emotions around you, but I'm just getting a surge of love within the heart. They're feeling a lot of love for you. And it's almost like that love is really, oh my God, it's like bringing tears to my eyes. It's like that love is really guiding them through what they need to go through in order to rise into this next version of themselves. And they recognize, are consciously aware that they are rising into this next version of themselves. God damn, we love our divine masculines, don't we? This is really beautiful energy for the divine masculine. This is really transformative. This is a lot of growth that they're experiencing, and they're experiencing it very, very quickly. Divine feminines, we've been on this journey for a while. It was very difficult. It was very painful. It was a struggle. And we experienced it pretty quickly too. But it's like double time for these divine masculines. It is double time for them. So, it doesn't mean that you have to attach. It doesn't mean that you have to reach out. Just send some compassion and love and And that's it. It doesn't have to be more than that. Just send compassion and love, and feel that within your heart space. I feel the divine masculine receiving it, and almost like they're smiling at that. I can feel the divine masculine smiling at that and allowing themselves to receive that love. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel wanted. It makes them feel needed. And it makes, and not in an egoic sense, but just that they're very sensitive souls, beautiful, sensitive souls, and they're feeling that within their heart space. It's the reminder I'm hearing. It's like the reminder that you love me, divine feminine. That's what I'm hearing. It's like that's what gets me through my days. It's a reminder that you love me. They are also going through something wherein they are recognizing that they did not always love you the way that you deserved, because they were not always capable of expressing it. Now, they always loved you. They always loved you. So I don't want it to sound like that, but it was not always in the way that they were able to express it. They were not always able to communicate it. That's where they held themselves back. But there's so much love in their heart, and it's a little bit overwhelming for them. It might even be overwhelming for you too, divine feminines, because I'm feeling this in the heart space, and it's like, holy shit, what is this? It is unconditional. It is unconditional. And in this paradigm, in this world, we have not experienced this, because there have been conditions, because there have been programming, because of the way that the templates were set up for relationships in the past. This is unconditional. This is divine. This is divine. This is God's love through each other, being expressed through you to your masculine and from your masculine to you. This is God's love. And it is expansive. And through that expansiveness, it is very overwhelming and beautiful. Yeah, okay. Man, divine masculines, they are something else. It's like we want to strangle them and love them in the same breath, right? And I know that's how I feel about mine. I want to strangle him and love him in the same breath. I'm just getting like this smirk from the divine masculine, like they know. Like I can feel my divine masculine like he's not watching this, but I can feel my divine masculine smirking like he knows. Like he knows. It's funny. All right, divine masculine, how are you feeling about your divine feminine right now? Divine masculine, how are you experiencing? How are you feeling about your divine masculine right now? Divine masculine. Divine masculine might be holding themselves back a little bit. I'm hearing learning how to step forward, like they're learning how to step forward. Interesting. Okay, I'm hearing an interesting message. I'm hearing that the divine masculine might be learning how to put into practice self-expression, especially when it comes to love and emotions. Now, they might be doing this because it's so overwhelming, their love for you. Divine masculine is really afraid of fucking up. They are really afraid, and they don't realize yet that they can't. Just like you, divine feminists, had to realize that you can't mess up this connection. Divine masculine has to go through that too. I said recently, and I said this before, that when you're taking a risk, it's not a risk. It's only a risk to the ego. The soul knows, especially when you're being guided from your heart. The soul always knows. But I feel like the divine masculine is learning how to step forward, take action, and communicate their heart, communicate themselves, express themselves. But because it's so overwhelming, it's like they're putting it into practice first. So this could be with family members, this could be with friends, this could be with, strangers, this could be with the world, this could be even be with themselves, but they're putting it into practice. What I'm actually hearing is like a masculine expressing, I care about you and I love you and you mean something to me, not in like the deep way that they feel for the divine feminines, but almost like in a platonic way or in like a familial way, like a soul family kind of way. Um, and it's like they're putting it into practice so that they can get it right for you, so that they can be comfortable with expressing themselves with you. Um, which is really interesting and really unexpected. I feel like they also might put it into practice with you, opening up a little bit more, being a little bit more vulnerable at a little bit at a time. And that might be unexpected. That might take you by surprise, divine feminine. They might just come out with it, not with this like big declaration, but they might be sharing their love by the effort that they put forth into the relationship a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. It's because they're trying to get comfortable with expressing themselves. They're trying to get comfortable with communication because they're recognizing the importance of that. They're recognizing where they had suppressed that in the past and the importance of that now, especially when it comes to their emotions, because they're recognizing that they were just holding back love when they were holding back themselves. And this divine masculine does not want to hold back love. That was just their own wounding. Really interesting. Really interesting. Okay. Divine. I'm hearing you're revealing all my secrets. I feel like we're getting to the core of the divine masculine right now. And it's like where they had tried to hide this aspect of themselves, they can't hide anymore. It's like the divine feminine really sees them, and even that makes them a little bit uncomfortable. As much as they love the divine feminine, that the divine feminine understands them and sees them better than anybody else, because they are them, right? You are each other. It's making them a little bit uncomfortable. Not in a bad way, not in a negative way, but just in a way that they had not experienced this before. And they want to become more comfortable with it. Again, wanting to become more vulnerable, wanting to become more open, wanting to become more one with the divine feminine. But this is a process that they're going through. This is a process. This is part of their journey. Okay. Let's get to it. Divine masculines. How are you feeling about the divine feminine? Divine masculines. Yep. Open up and security. They're becoming a little bit more comfortable, wanting to put in the effort, wanting to open up, wanting to give of themselves, not give up themselves, but give of themselves, wanting to bring more security, stability, honesty, and love into the connection. And what I'm getting from this security card is, you see how it's like a nest? And that nest is really reminiscent of home, family. They feel like you are their home. They feel like you are their family. They really want that energy brought into the connection. And again, the doorway opening up. Can you guys see that? All right, divine feminines. How are you feeling about your divine masculine? Divine feminines. Hold on, I dropped everything. All right, divine feminines. How are you feeling about your divine masculine? You guys are feeling it. You are feeling that connection. This is like that twin flame connection. Can you see that? You're feeling that connection. You're feeling the spark. You're feeling the love, allowing yourself to receive the love. And you see how you're leaning into each other? You're leaning into each other, whether physically, like in your physical experience, or just energetically. You're allowing the heart to open up. You're allowing the heart to open up again. Again, the new version of yourself. You're not the old version of yourself. You're not the old version of your connection. This is a new version of yourself. This is a new energy that you're in, where you are honoring yourself first and foremost. And the more you honor yourself, the more you're able to honor the connection. So this is allowing yourself to open up in that new energy, in that new version of yourself. And you're feeling that. A lot of you are even feeling that chemistry, that magnetism. I want to say sexual attraction, but it's not so much that. I'm not feeling that sexual energy some of you might be feeling the sexual energy, but I'm not really feeling that right now from the divine feminine. It just feels like the connection, honoring the connection, feeling the love and the spark within the connection. All right, where do you go? Oh, look, patience, our favorite card, our favorite word. Bottom of the deck there. What do you guys think? Do you want to do some romance angels? And then we'll pull some messages. Let's do some romance angels. What do you guys think? Whew. I know, I miss the romance too. Let's talk about that. The past several years, we've really been focused on the ascension part of the connection versus the romance, because we've really learned that the connection is not first and foremost romantic, right? And I had to go through that journey myself. If you guys have been with me from the very beginning of my readings, gosh, it's been almost 4 years now. September will be 4 years since I started my channel. If you guys have been there with me, it was what's the romance, what's happening as far as their feelings for each other. That was part of the journey that we had to go through. Okay, let me know if I'm freezing or if it's still getting choppy or whatever. We might have to go to a part 3. Let me know. So that was part of the journey that we really had to go on, to recognize that it's not about the romance, that it is about the ascension. It is about the expansion. And that is what these sacred partners or these sacred partnerships are first and foremost. It was a very difficult realization because we were trying to, before I get into that, I want to make sure that we're still able to channel. I wonder if I only have like a 1 hour kind of time limit on YouTube. I don't have a time limit, but the sound is still choppy. All right. Do you guys want to join me for a part 3 on another live stream? Because I feel like this is important. Unless it's clearing up. Let me know if it's clearing up before we get into some more channeling. Yes, it's good, or yes, we need to move to another live stream. You've been able to hear me? Anybody else able to hear me? You hear fine? You closed the app and restarted? Okay. Let's see. Anybody else having trouble? I'm going to take a water break. Give me a second. You can hear me, Ruth? Good. Nelda, you can hear me? Is the feed choppy? Okay, good. I just don't want to go into the channeling and have issues, have problems. What do you guys think? Should we do this more often? Live streams? I miss them. I love chatting with you guys. You guys are the best community ever, truly. We're losing people. Men down, men down. All good? Okay, good. I'm gonna wait for a couple other people to hop back in. We lost some of you. You know that completely off topic. You know that meme that goes like, you think I'm fine, but little do you know that my sock is has fallen down in my shoe. That I'm wearing sneakers and my sock is halfway off my foot in my shoe right now. Completely off topic, but very uncomfortable. Oh god. Yeah, I love the live streams. What do you guys think? Should I start doing like well the problem is I never know when I'm going to channel, especially for the Sacred Union Energy updates. I usually just do it and then I post it. But what I can do is start doing like premieres. That way you guys have a chance to communicate with each other in the chats. Would you rather I do that? I want you guys to have community. I've talked to so many clients who feel so alone on this journey. And you guys, I mean it, you guys are really the best community I've ever experienced. Because you get it. Like you get the ascension part and you get the importance of supporting each other. And I just love you guys so much. And I want you to have that support for each other. And we have that over on the Patreon. So you guys can always join the Patreon, especially, we have these live streams where I do personal channeling for you guys every month. And I try to have a post where you guys can talk, but it's just not the same. So if you guys want me to post it as a premiere so you guys have an opportunity to chat with each other, I'd be more than happy to do that too. Just, let me know. Send me your suggestions. What do you think works for my channel? What do you think is not working? I'm really open. I want to make it the best community for you guys that it can possibly be, and the best experience for you guys that it could possibly be. It has grown so much, and I'm so grateful. Okay, let's get back into this. Let's get back to the romance. You guys all can hear me, I'm assuming, and it's not choppy or anything. Just confirm one more time for me. Whew, I need to cool myself down. I do have Facebook. I do have a Facebook page for my business. Yep. You guys are more than welcome to comment over there. I have so many different platforms and I do so much that it's sometimes hard for me to keep the conversations going. But you guys are so welcome to start conversations on your own, or to keep it going or to ask questions. I will facilitate as much as I possibly can. Yep, Instagram, Patreon. Yep, I try to have a lot of different options and opportunities available, and making sure that I'm not burning myself out as well. That's been the problem in the past. So I'm trying to maintain a healthy balance while still making sure that everybody has what they need. Okay, so I'm assuming everything's good. All good. All good. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Cool. All right, let's talk about romance again. So I feel like in the beginning, what I was saying is, in the beginning of our journeys, on this journey, especially when you first meet your counterpart, you try to put it into a box of what you knew relationships were before. As we all know, twin flames, you have to throw everything out. It is fuck all, right? It is the craziest and wildest ride that you will ever experience. And it does not fit the mold of what came before. And you try to make it fit the mold because that's what you know about relationships. Healthy relationships, unhealthy relationships, by what you are seeing, by what you've experienced before, by what you see other people are experiencing. Twin flames is not that journey. So we learn that it's not about the romance. That's kind of like the cherry on the top. It is about ascension. And the further along you go on this journey, you recognize that ascension is what really matters. And you experience the transformations within yourself. You see your own life growing, you see your own life changing in beautiful, beautiful ways. And the ascension is what becomes the most important thing. And the romance is kind of like, okay, later, that's fine. I want that. I want partnership. I want romance. But you really recognize that the ascension within you and the expansion that you experience is, God, it's so beautiful and it's so transformative, and you wouldn't give it up for anything in the world. That's the blessing and the curse of this journey, right? It's difficult and it's hard and it's a struggle sometimes, but what you experience after you go through those tower moments and those dark nights is just such beautiful transformation. You're just a better version of yourself, more than you ever thought was capable, more than you ever thought was possible. That's what this journey really teaches you. But we're also human, and we also want to experience the romance. Now, romance is an energy, and you can romance yourself. Romance is how you express love. It's not, you don't need somebody to romance you. You don't need, all the stuff that society says is romance, but it's how you express it. So, somebody giving you flowers is how they're expressing love to you. Somebody taking you out on a date or for a sunset walk or whatever it is, however you like to experience romance, that is an expression of love. That is an effort of love. And so when we're talking about relationships and we're talking about romantic relationships, it's not that you need them to do XYZ, but it's that expression of love. It's that expression of self. It's that expression of the energy that you guys are feeling for each other. And so we don't negate the human experience. We don't bypass the human experience because we are meant to be the bridge between the spiritual being of who we truly are as soul and the physical form. And so, as physical form, we are having this experience. And part of that experience is, hey, we want to experience the expression of romance. We want to experience the expression of love. I love getting flowers. I love, spending quality time with my partner. I love going out on dates or whatever it is that you like, whatever it is that you love. That's how you're receiving that expression of love. Romance is not a thing. Romance is an energy. And so I think the further along we go in this journey, it's not that we ignore the desire for romance, is that we recognize that the purpose of this journey is for our growth. And from that growth, we get to experience that expression of love. Does that make sense? All right. So, that being said, let's find out how we are feeling about each other. This poor deck has seen better days. This poor deck. All right. All right, divine masculines, how are you feeling about your divine feminine? Divine masculines, how are you feeling about your feminine? Oop. Wow, soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Now, it felt like it had a hard time coming out. I don't know if you saw that. It was almost like it hesitated. And I feel the sense of hesitation from the divine masculine. It's like, yes, they're consciously aware of the connection. Yes, they're aware of how much they love you. But it's almost like, again, that blanket over the head. It's almost like they're feeling so much, but it's hard for them to admit it. They're aware of it. It's not that they hesitate about you. It's not that they have reservations about you, but it's almost like this is so different. This connection is so different from anything that they've experienced before. And it's like, how could this be true? How can this be real? Just like you've doubted divine feminine, just like you've questioned this journey, your own sanity in many respects, I feel like that's where the divine masculine is. It's like they recognize you, they're honoring you, they're loving you, but it's like, is this real or is this fantasy? Is this real or am I making this up? Like you question divine feminine. But they feel this. They recognize this. And it's soulmate, twin flame, sacred partner, it's all the same label in this deck. That's what this is. They're feeling this connection. They're recognizing this connection. All right. Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine. Did the chat stop, or am I still frozen, or what's going on here? I think my connection's okay. Divine Feminine to Divine Masculine. How's the Divine Feminine feeling about the Divine Masculine? Wow. True love. She knows this. She feels this. And she doubts herself because she looks outside of herself, because she questions, this could be the one, because she questions her own intuition. She questions her own knowing because she's looking for the evidence to validate rather than trusting her own intuition. And, that the physical world eventually will validate and should validate. But she also needs to trust herself and trust the energy that she's receiving. That's been her greatest lesson. It's been her greatest struggle, and it's been her greatest lesson as well. Hold on. My computer just decided to clean itself up right now, which is kind of funny, isn't it? All of a sudden, my computer decided to launch the Clean My Mac service. Isn't that funny? That's never happened before, and all of a sudden it just starts. Interesting. Make of that what we will. Huh? That can't be coincidence. It's almost like that's what this full moon in Capricorn is doing. It's cleaning up anywhere where there's disconnect, anywhere where there needs to be a release of karma or a release of old patterns or a release of this toxic energy. It's like, it's funny that happened, because it's like it's cleaning up the old energy to make way for the new, to make way for the connection, for the new foundation to be built. And that's what's really happening, is the new foundation is really being built. All right, we're going to start wrapping up. I'm having so much fun that I don't want to, but we are. We're going to end with messages. I'm going to pull, I have volumes 1 and 2 of my counterparts, conversations with counterparts, and I have the romance written on the heart. So we're going to pull a card from each, I think. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do this. Oh, good. That's what I like to hear. And this. And this. All right, divine. Okay, divine masculine. What do you want to say to your divine feminine? I'm getting this. It's quite cute, actually. I'm getting this like this. Like almost, what I'm hearing is like, I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to spill the beans. They're holding themselves back. There's so much love and so much emotion here and so much that they want to say, but it's like they're not ready to say it. Remember when I said that they're like putting it into practice first? It's kind of that energy. They're doing this. They're like, nope, don't. I don't want to spill the beans. I don't want to like blurt it out. But I feel like they really want to. I feel like they really want to step forward. I feel like they really want to express themselves. They want you to understand what it is that they're feeling without having to say it. It's like they're wanting, is Capricorn ruled by Mercury? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. If any of you guys know, or if you guys want to research it and let us know, please do. But I'm not an astrologer by any means. It's like they want you to know how they feel, but they don't want to. It's not that they don't want to communicate it. It's not that they don't want to express it. It's just that they're not comfortable yet. They're not comfortable with that expression yet. They're getting there. They're going to get there. But it's like they want you to know. They want you to really trust them. They want you to really trust yourself and what you're receiving from them. Divine Feminines, I feel like you're just like, nope. Like getting you're frustrated by that because it's been so long and you're at the point where you're like, be direct, be clear, because that's divine masculine energy. Divine masculine energy is very clear in their communication, very present in their communication, very steady, stable, and steadfast in their communication. They are very direct, not blunt, not in like a negative sense, but they're very, very open and honest, and direct. They don't like miscommunication. They don't like misunderstandings or assumptions. They don't allow for misunderstandings or assumptions. And that's what the divine feminine wants. She wants that conscious divine masculine who is able to communicate, who is able to be clear, who is able to be direct. Divine masculine is still a little bit afraid of that. They're working through that. They are teaching themselves about that. They are putting it into practice. But they, in the meantime, they're like, can you just trust me? I'm not ready to share everything yet because I'm still understanding myself, but can you trust me? So it's really, it's quite interesting energy, actually. Saturn, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. Oh, okay. Thank you, Kim. Cool. Well, that's interesting too, because what I know about Saturn is it is very structured. So that's really interesting. There's something about that too. I don't know enough to go there. All right. Divine masculine, what do you want to say to your divine feminine? Divine masculine, what do you want to say to your divine feminine? No words can ever do this feeling justice. Divine feminine, what do you want to say to your divine masculine? I've loved you since before you knew. She has always had this love for her divine masculine, even if she didn't consciously know it, even if she wasn't consciously aware of it, even if she didn't know him yet, she's always held this space, this love for him. Divine masculine, what do you want to say back to your divine feminine? Please love me as I am. I'm hearing like through this process. Please accept me as I am. Please love me as I am through this process. Divine feminine, back to your divine masculine. What do you want to say? Divine, hold on. Let me get a shuffle going. Divine feminine to divine masculine. What do you want to say? You're my greatest adventure. All right, and let's get a romance written on the heart card. These decks, my decks, are now available for direct purchase on my website, not just on Etsy. So you can get them on Etsy or you can get them on my website. I just made that change. All right, divine masculine, what do you want to say to your divine feminine? I want to be brave for you. They're trying. They're really trying. And they're going to get there. Divine feminine to the divine masculine. I'm always with you across all space and time. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. All right, you guys. That was amazing and such an honor. And I just love doing these. I've missed them. It's been a long time. But I hope that you guys enjoyed it too. I think we're going to end here. It is almost 10 o'clock. We've been doing this for 2 hours, but I do promise we'll have some more live streams. It's really hard for me to schedule anything. So make sure that you're staying tuned, you're subscribed. Make sure you're staying tuned to my social media, especially Instagram and Facebook, because I will always post on there, as well as set up a time on here on YouTube. I'll try to, have at least 2 hours of lead time, but I can't always promise to schedule that far in advance just because my own schedule is up and down all the time. But I do want to do more of these because they're so much fun and I've missed them. And I will also try to make sure to do the premieres so that you guys can chat with each other and, talk about the readings and share what you guys are experiencing and just kind of have that community, because I feel like community is really, really important. All right, you guys, I love you all. Oh, God, thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys so much. I am so grateful for every single one of you. And we will have a recorded Sacred Union Energy update after this full moon energy coming sometime soon. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And we'll have some more sacred channelings and light language transmissions and all that stuff. And I will let you guys know when we're scheduling the Twin Flame workshop. It is going to be 4 or 5 years of channeling and knowledge and insight and understanding about this journey, all condensed into one 3-hour workshop. We'll have a Q&A. I'm going to have a Twin Flame journal and workbook available for you guys. So as soon as all of that is set up, we will announce the date and you guys can sign up for it. And we'll have a replay for that as well. So a lot is coming down the pipeline. Just make sure that you guys are staying tuned. All right. I love you guys. Have a great, great night. And we will see you soon. Thanks so much for joining. Bye.